Hello everyone, how's it going today? Happy Friday! We are back for some more Lego building, and we've got the Maersk Dual-Fuel Container Vessel that came out not too long ago. Howdy Viber Bunny and everyone else, how's it going? Let's go ahead and get this thing opened up. There is the back. So I do really enjoy the Maersk sets that Lego makes, although I would love some more minifig scale stuff. Be pretty nice. Alright. Open up the box itself, and yes! Alright. We got paper bags. It's the little things in life that make me happy. 13, 14. Yes, it is smaller than the Titanic. We will finish this in one session. There's one. There's the top falling down. Howdy, Iogra. How's it going? Hope everyone enjoyed our little diversion on Wednesday for some zombie fighting cure enjoyment. Let's see. What do we got? There's 12. Did I get an 11? No, there's 10. 7, 8. Oh, 16. All right. Hold on. That goes behind 15. There's 11. And 10. 9. 8. And 7. Uh-oh, 17. 17 bags, all right. It's only 1,500 pieces, though. 8, 7, 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. We got extra parts, instruction booklet, and stickers, but I will not be putting the stickers on. You feel like you're missing a kidney? Have I seen it? Yeah, but we had to dispose of it as medical waste, sorry. So I do want to note the model does not float. Kind of hard to see there. Even though it shows it clearly in water. So it is a non-floating boat. Actually, shoot. Need one of those closer. To put my, to put the bags in. Alright. Bag number 1. And our scissors. You wanted to keep it as a souvenir? You can grow another. Yeah, I mean, just take some oxy. You know, that'll do. That'll be fine. I'm very curious what they're going to add in the future. But I really had fun with that. That was a lot of fun. Also, very, very, very chaotic. All right. Let's dive in. Introducing Anne Maersk. The Anne Maersk is the first of her kind, the first large container vessel able to run on low-emissions fuel like bio and e-ethanol. Since Maersk first hit the waters in January 2024, many more dual-fuel vessels have set sail, marking a new and important chapter in the decarbonization of shipping and global trade. Seems like you could put some major solar panels on the top and get some good battery power off of it, but what do I know? Maersk is 1,148.2 feet, 350 meters long, and 175.5 feet, 53.5 meters wide. When empty, the vessel weighs 52,580.25 tons, and when fully loaded with cargo, fuel, and crew, the vessel can transport an astonishing 209,439.1 tons, which is the same as 29,000 African elephants. So, you know, if you ever want to transport 29,000 African elephants, you know what to do. The vessel can load 16,592 TEU, a 20-foot equivalent containers, and if you line them all up, the line would be 62.4 miles long, corresponding to 959 football pitches. Well, that's how I know it's not American English. Wonder if they'll add activities akin to that one DS game where you had to draw pagan symbols on the body to use special healing skills. I wonder if they'll have like a surgery system eventually. Howdy Farron, how's it going? Navigating change, the history of shipping. Human beings have been transporting goods by sea for over 5,000 years, but until the Industrial Revolution and the invention of the steam engine, we were reliant on the weather. No wind, no crossing. With the introduction of steam power, the crew of a ship was no longer dependent on the weather or manual propulsion for the first time in human history. The invention completely revolutionized maritime transport, making new routes possible and giving trade by sea a major boost. Although steam engines were a vast improvement on sail, they were still inefficient, and it would not be long before maritime transport was once again transformed by the invention of the diesel engine. However, diesel fully I missed a line. However, revolutions in shipping take time, and it would be several decades before diesel fully replaced steam power. Maersk purchased its first diesel-powered vessel, the Maersk, in 1921, just 9 years after the launch of the first ever diesel-powered ocean-going merchant vessel. Getting some major Maersk history here. In 1956, the industry transformed yet again when the efficiency of containerized cargo was introduced by loading truck trailers directly on board vessels. The introduction of the container reduced the time it took to load and unload vessels from several days to a matter of hours. Thanks to the container and the barcode, the hidden enablers of world trade, a manufacturer in any part of the world can sell its goods to all markets, making globalization physically possible. The world as we know it today is deeply reliant on global supply chains. From the banana farmers in Colombia to the Danish child peeling a banana for their lunch, supply chains keep the world connected and ensure the flow of foods, medicine, goods, and materials to people all over the world. Most importantly, Lego. Gilded Tongue bringing us a raid. How's it going? Let me get you a shout out there. Playing some more Tex Murphy. We are just getting started on our Maersk container vessel. Those are very blue containers. What's in a name? Since 1906, all vessels in the Maersk fleet have had the Maersk name as part of their name. Most of the early vessels had first names related to the founding family, but as the fleet grew and outnumbered the family names available, the naming tradition had to be adjusted. Today you will also see Maersk vessels named after, for instance, cities and rivers. When deciding how to name the new series of dual-fuel vessels, Maersk returned to the tradition of naming vessels after members of the founding family. This time starting with the letter A to signal a new era. Anne Maersk is named after Anne Maersk McKinney Ugla, the chair of A.P. Moller Holding, which is the parent company of A.P. Moller, Maersk. A.P. Moller Maersk was founded in 1904 by Arnold Peter Moller. Anne is the granddaughter of the group's founder Arnold Peter Moller and his wife Chastine McKinney Moller. I'm probably butchering the Danish pronunciations here. They had lovely magazines in the Tex Murphy game. Last Friday stream for the summer break. We'll be going back to night soon. The White Star, a beacon of hope. I mean, you know, unlike the White Star line of passenger liners. Where's Mr. Wolverine when all needs him? I know, right? The iconic white seven-pointed star has been part of Maersk's heritage since before the company was founded in 1904 and is an enduring symbol of the strong family bonds that still run through the heart of the company over 100 years later. Early in his career, Captain Peter Maersk Moller, the father of A.P. Moller, worked for an English ship owner, and his wife Anna would sometimes accompany him on voyages. It was on one of these voyages that Anna became gravely ill. Fearing that she wouldn't make it, Peter Maersk Moller went up on deck and prayed to God for a sign that his wife would recover. It was then that he saw a single star lighting up the otherwise gray sky. Anna did recover, and in 1886, when Peter Maersk Moller purchased his first steamship, the steamship Laura, he adorned the funnel of the ship with a white seven-pointed star on a pale blue background as a tribute to his beloved wife. For Peter Maersk Moller, the star came to signify her recovery and their good fortune. Since then, the white seven-pointed star on its emblematic sky blue background has been synonymous with Maersk, but the logo itself has been through some evolution over the years. There have been many versions of the logo, but the Maersk logo of today dates to the beginning of the 1970s when it was decided that a more modern approach was needed. Or the White Star, the Minbari human battleship that was released during the Shadow War. I mean, that's a pretty good White Star. I guess technically the White Star line of passenger ships was also pretty good, although they did lose, you know, the Titanic. Improving life for all by integrating the world. As a global leader in logistics services, Maersk has 100,000 plus customers, operates in almost 130 countries, and employees more... Yeah, that's incorrect. And employees more than 100,000 people. It should just be employees. From humble beginnings as a steamship company to becoming an integrated logistics company working to connect and simplify its customers' supply chains, Maersk deploys 700 plus vessels and transports almost 20% of the world's food, materials, and goods. There is a gray Maersk cargo container. I always enjoy seeing a Maersk cargo container on the roads. All the way to zero, commitment to a decarbonized future. As the world grapples with climate emergencies, the future of supply chains and global trade rests on the ability to innovate and promote new energy sources. Maersk has taken on a serious obligation to reach net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2040 across the entire business, which is pretty impressive considering that they account for 20% of all cargo. While decarbonizing its own operations, Maersk has also made a social pledge to lead the way in addressing the climate crisis by decarbonizing global supply chains and enabling a just transition to a net zero economy. Maersk has set ambitious targets on the road to 2040 to ensure a significant progress in this decade, across the ocean, land, air, and our terminals. And with the order of and delivery of many dual-fuel vessels able to sail on low-emissions fuels such as bio and e-methanol as well as biomethane, so far, the mission to decarbonize the fleet is well underway. All right, that's it. Now we need these parts. Maersk ships would sink, too, if they were torn open about a third of their length. Yeah. Well, maybe. They might be better able to take that today. I mean, I don't know what physical changes they have done to shipbuilding to better survive that kind of thing. Of course, the Titanic could have survived if it had hit... Well, it might have been able to survive if it hit the iceberg head-on. Because it would have opened up fewer of the watertight compartments. So how is everyone doing today? recovering from the glorious treatment that I provided on Wednesday? I'm gonna assume yes. Alright, so is this the same shade? Yes, this is the same shade. Alright, so this is medium azure. It is not a unique shade of blue. I need to go dig out some of my other Maersk pieces and compare. Titanic could have survived if the player had made the QuickTime event? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We got lots of inverted curve slopes here, which I think might be a new piece. I don't think I've seen 2x4s. Yes, horses pointing to that indeed. Right there, medium azure. It is not dark azure, which is what this is. And it is not bright light blue, which is what this is. So for the near future, if we are playing Cure on Wednesdays, there will be no LEGO streams. If we end up playing, like if we end up not playing, like if someone can't make it, then I will have a LEGO stream. Lots of nice dark red plates. I like that. Which should you javelin toss at New Atari? It's not like anyone lives there. Although I think it's a good place for to have like pirate bases and stuff. So I'm not sure if having these holes in the bottom are really going to be effective for keeping these ships afloat. Free real estate, yes, but have you ever looked at how big that world needs to be? It is a tiny, 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 tiny world. Two by four brick there. Oh, I missed this 1x4. If you were an evil god of magic, you would object to people squatting on your moon? But what if they are believers in you? Ald could fund his own underwater nation built from Lego bricks? I don't think I could. Lego is not inherently watertight. Like, there is a conjunction that the three moons of Kryn have called the Night of the Eye, which is when Nuitari, Lunitari, and Solinari are in a row. So you have black, red, and white. They wrote a novel about it, yeah. Not that I've read it, but... I'm not sure exactly how often it's supposed to happen, but the moons do have very regular phases. So I think the moons have a more circular orbit and stuff than most others might. Anyway, to get that kind of configuration, Solinari has to be pretty big, about the size of our moon, and then Nuitari has to be pretty darn small. And a heck of a lot closer. Smart of the moons for getting their fiber in and staying regular? Indeed, indeed. You guys on, and the box was in the way. I forgot to get Princess Linda, Cornflakes Guy, and Monkey back on. There we go. So Dark Crystal 3 Sun thing? Maybe? It's been a while since I watched Dark Crystal. Howdy, Minor Trader. How's it going? You listen to T. Kingfisher's Paladin's Grace. Prologue chapter is about a deity dying, and the paladins and clerics have very strong reactions to it. So since you're an expert on D&D, you're guessing the death of a god would very much F up all their paladins and clerics. It would be extremely rare for it to happen. Alright, 10 1x4s. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because so most deities only die when they have no worshippers. So maybe it would have a big effect on their followers, but they're already not there. 500 miles in diameter, but it is the only moon to not have any organized habitation. Yeah, I like it being a. That's why I like it being a pirate port. In the novel Night of the Eye, one guy says 5 years, but other stuff you see it says 1.5 years. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Nuitari's orbit is such that it's full every 8 days or so. There we go. I just kind of looked at like what the angular requirements would be a while back. Came up with some numbers, but I'd have to look up exactly what the numbers were. You'd have the most deicide happening during the time of troubles. You have more of that happening during the spell plague, or leading up to the spell plague. But I also don't know anything about the spell plague. There are some other things that have deities dying. Manzikorian gets killed in the Dead Gods adventure. But I don't think you really see too much about his followers there. Honestly, like, the thing that is going to happen, in my opinion, and obviously, like, some authors are probably going to do things differently. But in my opinion, I would have deity death basically not really have a big effect on the priests, other than sudden loss of spell access. So in other words, you know, they go to pray for new spells one day, and they don't get new spells. So individually, they're going to start, you know, being like, oh my god, my deity has found me wanting, has found me lacking. How do I make up for this? Let me go talk to, you know, the other priests and figure out what I must do. Oh, none of them can gain spells either. Oh, crap. Like, that's kind of how it would be. Seal and Mortar are subscribing. 101 months. Very nice. Sub for the same number of months as there were Dalmatians. It's true. You can have a Dalmatian for each of those. So if anyone wants a Dalmatian, just go speak to Seal and Mortar. Yeah, I mean, basically, I would have them just be like initially worried that that they had failed their deity, and then when they discover that the deity is not answering prayers, because that happened in Kryn too, except the deities didn't die. Can you make a fur coat out of subscriptions? Oh yes, I can, and I have. It is a lovely, lovely fur coat. So, not a rogue AI. Basically, like during the Cataclysm, the gods stopped answering prayers entirely, or almost entirely. But then later, like around mid-2000s, something like that, Takhissus stole the planet and put it somewhere else. And so most of the priests lost access because the gods didn't know where Kryn was. But I also don't like that. I think that's garbage. And then rather than send the planet back, the gods just made new moons and decided, okay, we're here now. Which is also very silly. All not using the notches to tear open the packets. I know, it's like I don't want it to shed little fibers everywhere. Can you make a fur coat out of gummy bears? Yes. Yes, I absolutely can. And I have. Y'all, have you checked out any of the new Expedition game, or are you waiting for a full release? I will probably wait for a full release. Like, I don't mind an early access game that is, like, Cure, Hospital Simulator, where, like, there isn't a story. And as they develop new stuff, they're just adding more stuff to it. But, like, I don't want to play a partial game. So I will probably wait for that to be new. Change its form into a Dalmatian. It streaks through the chat. Oh my god. When you're talking about planet stealing, are you talking about after Dragons of Summer Flame? Yes. She didn't steal it during the Cataclysm. This was post that stuff. This was like post 2E and everything. All kinds of weird stuff happened with Kryn later. It's pretty silly, really. Just noticed the music was very quiet. They did. They did indeed. Apparently the latest Kryn book has a bunch of normal real-world names like Greta and Louise or Lewis. And someone was like, well, I mean, at least they're common English names. And I'm like, those aren't English names. Does it have Tiffany? No, it does not. At least, not that they noted. I wonder if these have been made in black, because I could use some of those in black, maybe. Like, I guess it takes place, like, it revolves around Huma. And so someone was saying, like, it has all these normal names like Greta and Lewis and Richard, and then Huma. Alright, and then we get our propeller here. Right there at the back. L axle. Kind of the opposite trope of Aerith and Bob, yeah. I mean, I don't really care with, like, a video game, because it's a video game. I hold those to lower standards. But if you're trying to make a world, you know, like an alternate world fiction, maybe don't use real names. Just an idea. Alright, and that there, and that there. AU world? Well, like alternate world fiction is you know, where it doesn't take place on Earth or in a you know, a world of Earth. You can say that Star Wars, for example, is alternate world fiction, even though it says a galaxy far, far away. You know, when you're doing that, it doesn't matter. It has no connection with the real world at all, kind of thing. Listens to all the names, looks at Tolkien, sees Pippin. What, you don't have a problem with Gandalf? Gandalf is a dwarf in Norse mythology. Despite his name having elf in it. I mean, it's a fine name for Tolkien. It's whatever. It's also from Norse mythology. we go. Get that right in there. So we got a little bit of an overhang there. And this goes on here. That's how they get away with studs on both sides. Yep. It's a good way of doing it. All right, bag number 4. It's a small bag, too. All of the dwarf names in Tolkien are also from Norse mythology. Lots of sand green. Sand green. This is another piece that you can use to get studs on, alternating. So you could do this. So you can get studs going out either side, kind of thing. That is not what they're doing here, but that is something that you can do. I mean, Lord of the Rings is basically alternate world fiction, even though it's not what it was intended to be. It kind of should be seen that way. It works better that way. There we go. 1x8 in sand green here. And then we have basically the reverse. We've got although the fun thing is that you can get this just like on the side here, or you can also do it, get it here like that. I mean, Tolkien was trying to create a new mythology for England, but his material also doesn't really work as a translation. No dig on him at all. Well, and Samwise refers to his father or grandfather, I can't remember which it is, as his old gaffer, and that's very English as well. I mean, the hobbits were supposed to be very English in character. Very English country. Oops. Alright, and then 1x8 with 1x1 cylinder plates. Why is someone texting me at 7:32? It's probably political. Let's mute that phone. And then gray 1x1 cylinder tiles with top pegs. Now, what we don't need are political texts that I can't get myself off of. I hate those. One of the reasons why we need a good, solid law about that kind of thing. Make it so you have to opt in for any kind of selling of your information. And not opt out like the stupid Twitch AI thing. Which, if you haven't opted out, go in and opt out, even if you don't have a channel, because who knows how they're going to be using that otherwise. It's in your user account, not your channel settings. There we go. I believe this is the engine here. And there is a picture of the engine. It does look a little bit different. Alright, this goes right here. Okay. Spare parts, sand green 1x1 cylinder plate, gray 1x1 cylinder plate with bar, and gray 1x1 cylinder tile with top peg. There we go. Bag number 5. Yeah, I swapped off and swapped back on the first time, and it did not change, and it reset it back to being on. So definitely make sure it's off. It's pretty scuzzy. But what do you expect from Jeff Bezos? And not in the drive sense, exactly. Alright. Bag number 5. Okay, so we get some clear panels here. So you can see inside the belly of the beast. One by 2 brick. Flip it over to this side. And we got MA. That's blank. And ERSK, which is shockingly right up against the edge of the brick. There was a Harry Potter set with a sign that was split across two tiles, and people were joking when the pictures first came out because it was like Gringotts Bank, and there was a big obvious space in between the two. Luckily, that's Harry Potter, and who cares? As a mariner, you're sure you'd love giant windows right above the waterline? Yeah. I mean, lots of ships have windows right above the waterline, actually. Just got the magic urn rage for Gao in FF6. And it's useless. Yes, it is kind of useless. From what I recall. Okay. 2x6 and 2x6. there, and there. No, it's pretty reasonable to give you things that are just garbage. As long as the game gives you the tools to figure out if it is garbage. If the game gives you the tools to figure out if it's garbage, then it's okay to give you garbage. If the game doesn't give you tools to figure out if something is garbage, then it's garbage to give you garbage. And there are games like that. Yeah, but I mean, like, since it's random, you don't really want Gao to be randomly healing, because there will be times when he'll heal, and it's like, that's not helpful. I don't want you to be doing that. I want you to be attacking or casting a spell on the enemy. So that's why I would consider it useless. Like, you're not going to do cat scratch when you're facing something that can't be injured by physical, at least. Not when you know that. At least it's one out of several dozen. Fine to have useless abilities then. Less fun when you have, like, a small handful of blue magics. Yeah, that's true. Especially when you have to, like, if you have to work really hard to get it, and then it turns out to be useless, and you're like, well, that's lame. Final Fantasy VII Remake has the least. There are 4, essentially, like, there are 4 enemy skills that you can get. That's it. Of course, the entire game takes place before you get that enemy skill one in the original game, so... Still more useful than Kamari's blue magic in FF10. You can learn all you want, but you can only use it when he's in overdrive. Yeah, and Quistis's also is kind of the same way. Although Quistis has more. FF10 has what? 10 abilities? And half of them are garbage? But Quistis has a lot more abilities that way. Like, I think she had at least 20 or something. Just give me Big Gar. Yeah, I know, right? Welcome back, Viber Bunny. FF8 has Aura to help get Quistis into limit break mode quicker, though. Yeah, but it's still not great, in my opinion. I mean, it's not the worst limit break, and, like, it may even be the best. I don't know. Like, I haven't... I'd have to, like, really think about it and compare in my head the other limit breaks. There are other limit breaks that are worse, in my opinion. So, you know, a lot of it kind of depends on how you play and stuff like that. Okay, that goes right in there. I mean, FF6 Blue Magic at least has things like Aqua Rake, which is, you know, a rare water magic ability kind of thing. Water element. Zell's Limit Break can be very broken if you know which inputs to use in which pattern. You've seen someone chain up something like 40 attacks with it. Right. So, like, I consider that a not good limit break because it is so very, very specific on who can use it well, kind of thing. I think selfies is also... Yeah, it can be abused, but also it's, again, very, very specific in how it can be used. In that, like, I think it's like luck-based or something like that. So this is a ladder, a staircase to get, you know, down to a small ship. And then it goes back up. This really, really needs... Good lord. Wow, that's tight. That is really tight. Right, it's slots. Yeah, but Tifa only has 3 different things to get. There's a big difference there. Luckily, that doesn't seem to be a thing in the remake for Tifa's Limit Break. I don't know about Rebirth or Revelation. Incidentally, I did finish up the intermission. That'll actually be finishing tomorrow on Saturday. Ended up with only 3 episodes left for the weekend, so I didn't do... Oops. I didn't split it up so that one day had 1 episode and the other, like, one day had 2 episodes and one day had 1 episode. I just put all 3 up tomorrow. Did end a lot faster than I was expecting. I'll put it that way, though. Alright, and then we got a panel sticker would go on there, but I'm not going to put the stickers on. It says all the way to 0. Yeah, honestly, like, and considering that each character can be basically built up to be the exact same, except for the limit break, and then your special weapons, that really does make it so that you'll get to a point where the party you use is dictated by the limit break or the overdrive or whatever, and the special weapons you get. Speaking of DLC content, finished all the Star Fox DLC for Starlink, and you think you're good? Think something else can go into the Sunday slot? Oh, spare part. Dark Gray 1x1 plate. Yeah, it's kind of like me for Dragon Quest VII Remake, Reimagined. The post-game stuff is basically the same as the post-game from the original 7, except, like, the game isn't built the same way. I don't get the same enjoyment out of the combat. Like, combat in Dragon Quest VII Reimagined is... Because it is so easy to be overpowered, kind of thing, it just doesn't feel as much fun. I think that's a shame. I think it's a real shame. Like, give me the original game, but with the updated graphics, and I might have continued. You saw one Reddit post saying they should have made Kimahri's blue magic into ability sphere that were exclusive to Kimahri that he acquired through Lancet. Or just make it an ability that, yeah, you have to use Lancet, but anyone can get Lancet. I mean, no one else has any unique abilities, so I don't know why he should have a unique ability in that regard. FF9 Blue Magic is the best. You have over 100 abilities you can learn. Each one is assigned a point value, and then you have to choose which spells you want to have equipped. Certain spell combinations give you bonus abilities like auto MP regen, increased magic damage, debuff resistance. Over 100 is pretty awesome. I don't know about assigning which ones you have. But it's also an online game, so they kind of have incentive to have lots of stuff. It like with just the 8 or 10 abilities though, it really feels like, pardon me, like an afterthought. You know? It's like, oh yeah, that's right. We should have blue magic. I think it was to make Kimahri's overdrive more dragoon-based. But why not have his overdrive be jump? You know? Where he jumps and does a massive amount of damage. Like, why blue magic? It doesn't feel dragoon-based to me, blue magic. I mean, I don't even mean the character. I just mean that the ability specifically. Like, there's a lot of abilities in the game that should be blue magic. Some monster abilities that aren't, and that's the other thing. Otherwise, the game was great. Yeah. I mean, I don't think FF10 is not my favorite game mechanically by far. Like, I don't think the mechanics of FF10 are that great, honestly. Compared to 9 and compared to some other games, like the thing about 9 is that every character did have their own thing. Like, they didn't have classes per se, but they had classes. Each character was their own class. And they all had, for the most part, positives and negatives. I think that the big problem mechanically with FF9 was having Garnet and Eiko both being summoners. Like, that I think is not great. Summoner white mages, I should say. Like, one of them, like, Eiko should have been, like, a summoner black mage. If you're gonna do that, or make her a time mage or something, like, you know, rather than for some reason you have two summoner black mages. Or, well, white mages, sorry. But I think that 10 should have taken a cue from that and had everyone with their own abilities. Eiko should have been like Rydia? Sure. I mean, if you're going to have both of them be summoners, yes. The only redeeming part of Garnet Eiko was that they each had different summons? Yeah. I mean, I don't know about redeeming. I don't know that it's... I don't think I would use that term exactly, but the saving grace, the one thing that makes them not quite the same character mechanically, is that their summons are different. But, like, more should have been different. But, I mean, like, there are other ways to do that. You know? It just ends up being, like, there's just this redundancy. And if you happen to get one of them with better stat growth than the other, and I think Eiko tends to get better stat growth than Dagger, just because you get her when you have more, you know, you have better stuff for stat growth, even if you aren't really, you know, well informed of how that operates. You know, you can easily get to one of them being better than the other. Black Summon would have overlapped with Vivi, and Queen is blue, maybe green magic. Yeah, I mean, like, have her be a time mage, status mage, or something like that, but, like, okay, so Black Summon would overlap with Vivi, but right now, Garnet and Eiko overlap. You know? You could have also given Vivi some different things or something. I mean... Or Red Mage Summoner, yeah, had weaker spells overall, but could do both. I mean, because of the way I was building stats, I was paying a close attention to it. Eiko very much had better stats than Garnet in mine. But yeah, like if she'd been a time mage or time mage and green mage, you know, that would have been pretty cool. At least it would have been different. You know, Beatrix is a paladin, but you'd probably give Steiner some low-end white magic. Yeah, he did get the sword magic, which is pretty cool. Basically a Mystic Knight type character. Alright, so this goes on right there. And then we take the ship hull piece. Oh, these two studs are just in this whole empty area there. This is really only held on by the back there. Amarant was your favorite? Just sad that he was one of the last characters to join and suffered for it? Yeah. And the game definitely needed more points in time where you have to pick your two 4-member parties to do things. Wait a second, did I do something? Hold on. I did not. Get that on there. There we go. Part of what makes FF Renaissance fun, FF1, but with many more classes. Yeah, but isn't that just Final Fantasy III? There, 1x1s and a double stack of 2x6s. FF1 being 2 black mages and 2 white mages with your party? Wow. Takes a lot of damage. I remember the first time I played that game and I didn't understand how the black belt was supposed to work. So he was going through the late game with nunchucks. And I was like, wow, this class is garbage. Absolute garbage. Game tricks you into buying weapons for the black belt. Well, it doesn't exactly. It's like early on, you do want that. You do want armor for him, but late game, you do not. I didn't have the manual at the time. Alright, so spare parts. We got a dark red 1x1 tile, dark red 1x1 quarter cylinder tile, and medium azure 1x1 tile slope. Need to brush up on your Greyhawk lore as it is. Practically non-existent aside from there being a castle and it giving up a certain lich who just refuses to learn anything. Greyhawk is pretty good. I recommend looking into Greyhawk. I have not played there. If I ever do a new campaign that, you know, is either streamed or something like on start.playing.games or whatever, startplaying.games, I might do the Night Below campaign set in Greyhawk. A little bit of a change of pace for me. You got the Nintendo Power FF1 guide? I have that too. I got that eventually as well from someone. I have 2 copies of Final Fantasy 1. One of them was given to me by someone else, and the other one I found super duper cheap at KB Toys. And it was great because I could have 2 ongoing games in that game at that point. Alright, lots and lots of boat studs. I mean, they were basically mall toy stores, and they were always small, and they were terribly managed. I mean, like, just an absolute mess every time I went into one. Sort of new solo in Greyhawk, but heavily modified. One of the kingdoms got toppled by another claimant to the throne. He's a tyrant everyone gets to fight against. Yeah, I mostly only have like I've mostly only skimmed the setting information. I know the gods pretty well for obvious reasons. For obvious reasons. There we go. So it moves pretty well. Also, I'm noticing that this blue on stream is a lot bluer than it is here. Oh, all right. Get this back here. It's not quite a boat stud, but it may do. Alright, 6 of these. These are separated by one stud. All right, are we going to have a do the rest? No, not quite. I think these are, I think this is supposed to be the lifeboat on either side. There's a picture of it on the side, which is just absolutely crazy. Like, it really is a marvel of engineering that these things do not just absolutely topple all of their cargo containers off the sides every time they go sailing. Not exactly sure what this is representing here, but it's representing something. All right, now we get 28. 28 of these. They're all separated by one stud. I was wondering if this would be completely covered, but it looks like it's not. At least it is in the roller coaster chain. You have a fair point. You have a fair point. I do have a roller coaster to make. Do have a roller coaster to make. But we're probably going to wait for a while on that. Because that's going to be very big. All right, there we go. That's one side. As I keep causing it to pop up to the side. Gotta love those boat studs. One thing that I would like to do is turn this into a Lego minifig scale Maersk ship. I think that would be really fun. Basically, like, I would cover this up, but I would probably, probably swap this out and just make it smooth. But I could keep the rest of this part of the hull, either that or take it out and just put like a plate thickness down here, since that is the waterline. There we go. All right. And back here. Like, I would love a minifig scale Maersk ship. That'd be great. All right, spare parts. We got a 1x1 and a medium azure 1x1 plate. And bag number 8. That is a lot of dark red fences, which is lovely to get. All right. So there's 2 different pieces in this bag entirely. We do this 20 times. There is the ship that when empty. That's pretty cool. That looks actually really neat. And holy cow, is that sitting high? I love lattice fences, though. One of my favorite parts. It's a shame they don't still make the gates. Fences are there to protect the sailors? I'm not so sure about that. Oh, 8 and 9. My bad. This is going to only be 10. Jeez. Speaking of Final Fantasy, you see a Kingdom Hearts sale on Steam. Game series that you do understand is deep and interesting philosophical game series. You just have to get past all the Disney stuff first. It actually works pretty well together. At least in the first game. I haven't played the other games. I think it gets a little bit weird with later games. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. All right. It's 4, 8, 10. Been listening to a podcast going through the plots, and it's very Jungian. And the first game, at least, is pretty fun to play. I didn't get very far in 2 because I didn't find it fun to play. Whereas I do know another Let's Player who thinks that it is far superior to the first one, gameplay-wise. Go figure. It's almost like everyone's different. Man, this is so many dark red fences. I love it. I have 2 extras. Alright. Let's get these on. There we go. Alright, and then the 2 extras right up there. Alright. Quick series of pages for that bag, for those 2 bags. Bag number 10, which feels very big. Feels like there's a lot of pieces in it. Oh, yeah. No, I see why. I see why. Time to do some cargo container action. 4, 5, all right. All right. 2x3. This is all just gray pieces. It's great, but makes for finding the particular ones that you want a thing. At this point, there are just too many games for you to try to get back into Kingdom Hearts. Too many Kingdom Hearts games, or... Because, like, you don't have to play them all. It's not like if you buy it, you are committed to them. You have to do it. Too many Kingdom Hearts games? I mean, you can just play the first one or something. And then if you enjoy it, you can play the second one. And if you enjoy that one, play the third one. Like, I'm not a big buy games on sale just because they're on sale person, but I do have a fair number of games that I have not played. And it's okay. They kind of interconnect all the stories. Yeah, but, I mean, that might be a reason not to start with 3, but it's no reason that you can't play 1. I mean, if you enjoy, like, if you enjoy the series, if you start playing one and you enjoy it, you find you're having a lot of fun. You're not exactly suffering by playing more. Eh. It's okay. It's okay. Again, the thing to remember is that there's no obligation to play all of them if you decide to play one. Do you love that the origin of Kingdom Hearts was that Disney Japan and Squaresoft shared an office building and the two executives were sharing an elevator and said, we should really do something together? Yeah. I mean, why not, right? I mean, I remember when it was announced, I was like, what the heck is this crap? And then I played the first one, and I was like, that was a lot of fun. And that was it. I tried playing 2, and I just didn't get into it. Again, helps if I look at the tile first. There we go. Unfortunately, if I do start playing 1, I know that that first video is not going to be able to be monetized. Curse you, simple and clean. So unlike a lot of other games, where you load up the game, and then there's that opening song that is always claimed, no, you get a little bit into the game, and then you get that opening song that is always claimed. From what you hear, YouTube's changed monetization. That's different from it being claimed. What game am I talking about? Kingdom Hearts. The game that we've been talking about for the last 15 minutes. Like, simple and clean, the opening song of Kingdom Hearts. It plays, like, 15 minutes into the game, kind of thing. So you can't separate it out with, like, an intro video like I can with, say, the Suikoden games and Xenogears and stuff. Alright. So we got these 5 stacks of containers. We get to see the container stacks and the loading crane and those fences up close. That is gigantic. I wonder what the difference between Maersk and Maersk Sealand is. I don't know. Alright, so this one goes here. 3 away here. That is 4 away. 2, 3, 4. This one is right over the white. And this is one closer. There we go. Weird that they're still hyper protective of it. I mean, I don't think that it's Square. I think it's Hikari Utada who's claiming it. I mean, I did last test it a few years ago. I uploaded a test video that was not going to be going live anyway, because the game was not playing properly on my old machine. But I think that was Windows 7, so I may give it a shot again in the near future. Because I would like to LP Kingdom Hearts 1. I do enjoy that game. There we go. Got a taller stack, and that goes right here in the front. So a taller and thinner stack. Alright, bag number 11. I'm surprised we're not doing more cargo stacks. Yeah, there's gray in there. We'll probably get another cargo stack. Alright. I think this is going to be the stern. I will turn that around. Yes, with themes of light and darkness never really gelled with you? It's fine. Not every game is for every person. Exactly, Bahamut. That's why I'm kind of sympathetic towards game designers who are like, I don't want to put in an easy mode in my game because I want this game to be for people who just want to play play a really hard game. I mean, I understand people who are like, well, if you don't put an easy mode in the game, then I'm not going to play it. And it's like, it's kind of the point. Sticker would go on there. Exactly. Just don't play it. Like, I have no desire to play Hollow Knight. I don't have anything against Hollow Knight. It's just not a game for me. Let's get some dark red binoculars here. Neat little detail on the back. You tried playing Terraria and couldn't get into it? Yeah, it's just some games are just not for you. Mostly because the 2D nature of it was throwing you off? Yeah, that's okay. I mean, like, obviously, if a game maker wants the game to be accessible, then they should put in an easy mode, but if they don't care about it being accessible, like they don't care about it being played by everyone, then they don't need to. It's just Compassion's Light needs the willingness to fight of darkness to be more than lip service. I mean, you do a lot of fighting in Kingdom Hearts. Including an hour-long fight against Sephiroth. I don't know if I would do that again if I did an LP of that game. I don't know if I would do that. That might be a bridge too far. You know, I gotta fight Sephiroth in Final Fantasy VII. I don't know that I need to fight him in Kingdom Hearts as well. Alright, flip it over. I mean, well, Bunny, two things can be true, that fighting is bad and sometimes you gotta fight. Like, war is bad, but sometimes you gotta fight a war. Alright, we got a old dress slope, 2x2x2 slope. Sticker would go on there. And more stickers would go on here. You appreciate the tone and darkness of Fuga Melodies of Steel. You just don't think you can sacrifice children to power a tank cannon? I have not heard of that game. This is all brand new to me. I am unfamiliar with this. Well, it has been a while since I have played Kingdom Hearts, so I'm not going to talk about the game's philosophy any further than that, because I don't remember it. I don't remember having a problem with it. Probably going to miss some minifigs because you're going to pick up dinner? Well, you might get back in time. Wait a second. Did I miss something in there? I did miss something in there. They still might be back. There we go. All right. That is what I missed. Getting that 1x6 in there. Oopsie. There we go. I mean, I am closer to the idea that it is bad to fight, but sometimes you have to, than I am to a complete justification for it. So, yeah. I mean, it's fine. There's a lot of different philosophies on the matter. All right. And back here. There we go. Now I can get this on. Right there in the middle. Howdy, Kinshir. Well, like I said, I'm not going to I can comment on the philosophical element of it. I cannot comment on what the game said because it has been a while since I've played the game. I don't remember that being as strong as you are indicating, but like I said, it has been a while since I've played the game. So I cannot comment on whether the game actually says that. Alright, I believe this is a rudder here. Okay. So get this right on there. There we go. Get a nice view of the back while it is unloaded. Another pair of fences. Tail Concerto starts off as, this is a happy little hop and bop platformer game where you're a dog cop and capture naughty kittens with a bubble gun and put them in jail. And then halfway through it starts going into how you're doing racial profiling to further the dog kingdom's power by creating an other to be the source of the kingdom's troubles, because acknowledging the issue the kingdom has created would destabilize the legitimacy of the government. But if a government is all... Okay, I think it cut you off there, Gilded Tongue. Now I want to play Tail Concerto. I really want to play Tail Concerto now, which I've always had a little bit of a desire to play it because Nobuteru Yuki does artwork for it. But that sounds freaking awesome. Howdy, DJ Birdman. Let me get you a shout out there. I didn't know it was a platformer. I have to wait. Oh, someone else gave a shout out. All right, thank you. All right. Beat me to it. All hates cats confirmed. I am all for games starting off as, we're a happy, fun little game. Halfway through, but being like, oh, by the way, here comes a political commentary. Here comes the political philosophy. Give me more of that. I love political philosophy in games. It's great. Managed to do your job for a change. Thank you. I figured it was you. So what are you up to tonight, DJ Birdman? We are building a Maersk container ship. Just finished a Restory Chill Electronics repair sim. I hope that was fun. I'm hoping to play some more of some more Cure, a hospital simulator, next Wednesday. Oh, it was? Excellent. It's great. It's just like, oh, yeah. I know. I love that kind of thing. All right, so spare parts. We got a 1x1 dome light with peg, black 1x1 tile, black spigot, hose spigot thingy, red binoculars, dark red binoculars, and a white 1x1 cylinder plate with hollow stud. Wow, alright. That was a lot of 1x5, 1x6x5 panel pieces. In gray. Time to torture those dinos, indeed. Very torturous. Oh, 12 and 13. All right. All right, well, let me get these done first. So we get 8 of these. Let's see if this is going to be... Do I get 4 of these, or do I get 8 of these? I get 4 of those. All right. Bag number 13. Never left the PS1, so you got to play it by obviously purchasing a used copy online. Did it get a US release? Or is it translation patch only? US release? US voice actors too? Oh, nice. Yeah, I have this really, really, really gorgeous art book set by Nobuteru Yuki, Fantasy 2, and it has just this absolutely wonderful, gigantic, it's like this tall of a book. It has 2 books actually. And has like a lot of his promotional artwork and color artwork for stuff for like magazines and ads and DVD or VHS covers and stuff. Proper coffee table book. Well, it's got a slipcase. 2 books in a slipcase kind of thing. Unfortunately, I may have looked through it a few too many times because the binding is coming a little loose. Some of the pages have come out. But I did get it signed. So that was pretty awesome, too. And that has like 2 or 3 pages of tail concerto art. I took pictures of a lot of the pages a while back to show to some other friends online many years ago. I should see what I have archived of that. Howdy, Tyrrell Mox. How's it going? We are building the Maersk container ship. Like, that is probably one of my favorite art books of all time. Makes me wonder where I put it. You know what? When I am running the period to do the minifig guessing, I will see if I have it down. If I have it in this room. Hey, it's not just gray. Like, look. Some of these are blue, some of these are white. A very weird white. Well, Lego is not as great at white on gray these days. Thinking back, I know that back in the 80s, some of the white on blue wasn't very good either, so... Well, also, my camera color balance is not great either, so... I don't know enough about color balancing on a camera to get it to be the right shades. Oh well. It's all fine. Yep, blame the camera, because it's the camera's fault. I mean, it's not my fault. I didn't do the printing. I didn't make the camera. Alright, there we go. Now we need side studs. But yeah, so the art book I might have on a shelf very close to me. I can't see the shelf right now. It's around a corner, but... I may go look for that when we're running the minifig guess period. So am I saying that I could make a better camera and a Lego color than the manufacturers? I mean, I would certainly try. I think they might have to do like 2 layers of white printing to get it to really appear solid, and that might be part of the problem. But it's been a complaint for a long time, and like they do a lot of printing these days, like a lot more than they used to, I feel like, and it's a lot more detailed. I'm kind of inclined to cut them some slack in that regard. Again, it's not like I'm a manufacturer and can say exactly why it is the way it is, what it would take to get it better, that kind of thing. I mean, I think it would be nice if LEGO would say what the issue is. Like if they were just like, it would make we'd print fewer parts because we'd have to spend more on printing the parts. I'd be like, you know, I can understand that, and I'm okay with having the more printed parts thing kind of thing. It's less noticeable in some situations than others. That's part of it. If it were a thing where they would do that extra whatever they needed to do on those specific things, you know, that might be worth it. Like this, yeah, I mean, it's a little bit gray rather than straight white, but that doesn't bother me. Like, I don't care about that. But when black is printed on white, it is a lot more noticeable. Go, and last one. Last one to get the top tiles on. There we go. All right, and then this. I'm actually kind of surprised that they printed these rather than making these stickers. I mean, considering that there are so many of them, it does make some sense for that they would be printed. I'm really glad that the Maersk logo is printed on the side of the ship. I don't know what I would do with all of these in minifig scale situations. All it uses no AI tag, but look at chat. I know, but you're not a rogue AI. That's the difference. You may be AI, but you're not a rogue AI. And there we go. All right. There are still some more cargo containers. This one goes here. Yep, just lift up the whole ship from the back. That goes there. Get here and here. Then there. There and there. And this one right in the middle there. There we go. You'd be leery of minifig scale shipping containers because floating coffins would be too easy of a low-hanging fruit for folks. LEGO's done shipping containers for years. Like, I mean, you could turn a LEGO car into a floating coffin if you want. Feel like old gaming cartridges. They do a little bit, yeah. Minifig size, though? Yeah. I mean, only recent ones can minifigs, like, stand up inside. Old ones used the old 1x4x3 windows. These days they use the 1x6x5. Or 1x6x6, actually, I should say. Ooh. But there is a cargo train out right now that has some cargo containers. Does look like a cartridge rack, yeah. This is my new Maersk entertainment system, MESS. Stay tuned for the Super Mess. The Super Maersk Entertainment System. Alright, 1x4x2 panel. What games does it have? Lots of knockoffs. It has Super Mario Brothers. So we get a picture of a cabin here. A couch, bed, with a personal relaxation light. No Duck Hunt? No, it does not have Duck Hunt. It has Quail Hunt. Does it have Mega Blood clone of Centipede? You guys got to do what I did and come up with names of things that the original game had an M, and you do an N because Nintendo and Mario and Maersk and Nario. There you go. Does everyone's favorite logistics game, will the container fall off before the ship makes it to port? Exactly. It's kind of like Desert Bus, but the ship pulls slightly to the side, and if it pulls too much to the side, then a container will fall off. And you got to start all over again. I've ridden on a desert bus as well. Oh, I goofed that up. Can you accidentally shoot your hunting partner in the face in Quail Hunt? No. But it does have a hunting cat with you that will laugh at you. Gray and white. One by three, 1x3. Yeah, the Super Mess also has Seawolf, a game where an anthropomorphic wolf and his anthropomorphic animal friends sail combat ships in a 3D environment. It's pretty cool. The latter. Is joke on Star Fox. Alright, there we go. I guess this is a toilet. A lot of 1x1 plates here. Seawolf is just the worst level of Star Fox 64 for the whole game? I don't know. I've never played Star Fox 64. No, it would be Pac-Nan, not Naknan. All right, here's the mess hall. Love these little tiny representations of the quarters. Got a compass there. The Epic of Zoldo. Alright, there we go. Alright, a sticker of the world map would go on there, but I'm not putting that on. Although it's not a bad thing to have. Sticker-wise. Alright, that goes right there. One, two, three. 2, 3. And then we have our 1x6x5 panel with printed windows and all the way to 0 on it. And that slides right in there. Alright, some more tiles on here. I think I would have liked plates underneath these. Okay, some curved slope action there. Curved slope action here. And some more stickers for the bow. There we go. Just hope I don't push this so far back that it falls off the edge of the table. Alright, so we got the 1x2 with center studs there. Thought the pointier end was the bow. This is the bow. This is the pointier end, and it's like it's hard to like actually show it, but it has a very straight front part here that kind of like spreads back to the rest of it. Okay, inverted tile, side stud. All right, 1x3 tile on here. Sticker would go on there for some windows. Same thing on the other side. And 1x6 through there. 1x2. 1x2 tile, and some 1x2 tile slopes. There we go. So stickers would go along here for the bridge. Windows. There we go. Trans green 1x1 cylinder plate. White 1x1 cylinder plate with hollow stud for the running light. And then we do the same thing with trans red. Get that in there. And then we have the, what I assume is a radar. Using an ice skate there. Two L bar with stop. Okay, 1x1 cone, 1x1 cylinder plate with hollow stud, 1x1 plate, and a lever. Apparently at an angle. There we go. There's a picture of the bridge. And let's get that right on there. So obviously it would look a little bit better with the stickers on, but it's fine. This is a lot of extra parts. Alright, 1x1 plates in gray, white, and what I think is warm tan. 1x1 tiles in sand blue and gray. 1x1 quarter cylinder tiles in white and medium azure. 1x1 cylinder tile in white with an egg print and gold with a compass print. 1x1 cylinder plates in trans red and trans green. 1x1 cylinder tile with top peg. A gray teacup. Silver ice skate. White 1x1, a white 2L bar with stop, and a white 1x1 lever. White on white base, black lever, I should say. There we go. All right, so 15 and 16 are more cartridges. Nope, those are extras. Those are all common extra parts. In fact, since we had 1x1 cylinder plates in white already, we didn't get an extra one of those. So 15 and 16. Nope. Oh, one part fell on the floor. Where did it fall on? Nope, it fell on my chair. There we go. Yay, didn't have to go get it. Okay, and we're doing 7 of these. There we go. Alright, that's 1. That's 2. You know what? I can just do that because I know that's what's going to happen. So that's 4. 5. And 6. And 7. Alright. Then 1 by 2 by 5 bricks. When brought together, will they activate a machine, grant a wish, or destroy the world? Well, obviously destroy the world. Why not all three? Exactly. All right, 1x2s and 1x2 bricks, 1x2 plates. Yeah, for having 1,500 pieces, this may end up going pretty quick because it's a lot of bricks. And of course, when you have a thing like this where you're doing the same thing a bunch of times and it's pretty simple, it's just, you know, brick on brick kind of thing. It is not going to go too long. Eiffel Tower all over again? No, this is simpler and faster. I mean, again, you're dealing with a cargo ship. Obviously, the cargo containers are going to be very similar. They did a good job varying them up a bit. Obviously, a minifig scale would not be this massive. If the world doesn't want to be destroyed, it shouldn't be so fragile. Yeah, got a point. Can't argue with that. Why did they separate them into 3 bags? So some of them are built differently, and some of them have different printed tiles. So, but they also separated them into 6 bags. Like, to a certain extent, actually doing 1 bag for each of these would probably be, would actually be fairly efficient. Although that you might get diminishing returns based on the number of bags you're doing. Anytime there is a very repetitive thing, if they can get it into fewer bags, though, it actually just, it actually does increase some efficiency. So we are getting Dragon Ball Z sets next year. Your comment about not Shenron reminded me. Gilded tongue. Okay, so that's that. Yeah, no pictures have come out yet, but I'm very curious what the minifigs will look like. And I wonder if that's why they, like, I think Monkey Kid got discontinued this year, and I wonder if that's why. Because Monkey Kid is basically LEGO's own version of Dragon Ball Z Journey to the West. Which is what Dragon Ball Z is. It's Journey to the West. I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to get any of them. I will wait and see what they look like. I mean, I have zero interest in the Pokemon sets because of the Smart Play feature. But that's for kids anyway. I don't know if any of these are going to be... I don't know if they're going to be Smart Play sets. I hope not. Alright, now for the side panels. With the containers. The funny thing about the Maersk containers is that there was a set back in the very early 80s that, while the parts are different, the size of the containers for the Maersk containers on the truck kind of match up with what they're doing today with containers. Alright, let's get the side prints on. And since they're actually not using actual Maersk Blue, it is medium azure these days, I could make a fake Maersk truck. Okay, there we go. We got our shipping boxes. There's the printing there on the side. Okay, and this is going to go into all of the remaining slots. All right. The ship itself is actually done. The last bag is going to be for the cargo container. Not the cargo, the display stand. All right, bag number 17. Can't unsee the game cartridge rack. I do hope that they do some minifig scale. Like, honestly, since they have this relationship with Maersk, it would be nice if they would just have, like, a license agreement that means that if they're going to do cargo containers, some of them will just be Maersk. All right. Kind of like how they used to, what they used to do with Shell, and in the U.S., Exxon. I love my Exxon gas station Lego set. It's so good. Nope, not that. Alright, let's move large plates out of the way. Imagine someone trying to assemble Lego in a storm at sea. I got a Lego set for building on the on a plane trip out to Texas once when I was a kid. I did not have a problem building. What makes Maersk special? Maersk is one of the largest Danish companies, and Lego is also one of the largest Danish companies. Although Maersk is considerably larger. Considerably larger. So there is just basically a, you know, let's celebrate Danish companies kind of thing going on. Lego has partnered with other Danish companies in the past. Like, there was a really cool minifig scale wind turbine. I forget what the company name is. I would remember it if I saw it, though. And I have some sets of, I think, Danish Skylight, a Skylight company. And again, I would recognize the name, but I can't recall it at the moment. Might not be Danish, though. Lego has partnered with other companies for other things. They've had, like, airplane promos for Lufthansa and stuff like that, which, of course, is not Danish. Sadly, I don't think I've seen too many, like, US airline companies with those promos. I would probably fly on their planes if so. Remember, it is Lufthansa, not Lufthansa. Yeah, but it's easier to pronounce Lufthansa than Lufthansa. Alright, 2x2 with grooves and Technic axle hole. I mean, they've been small models. You can go look on like Brickset at the promo category and see those. They're pretty small. I am sad that I missed out on the wind turbine set, though. I never got that one. And I do want to go back and get the Maersk train. That's a great set. All right, Bahamut. We are definitely going to be doing minifigs soon, unfortunately, so you will probably miss it. But have a safe trip. There we go. All right. Yep. There are tons and tons of LEGO promos. Not all of them easy to notice before the age of the internet. And even when you did know about them, they were not all easy to get. I have some great European and Japanese promos that, again, were just like luck, you know, very luck-based on being able to get them. Was I saying the Monkey Kid sets were small? No, I didn't say anything about that. Correction, lots of promotions, yeah. I said that Monkey Kid got discontinued, I think, this year. Might have been last year. And it is probably because they were negotiating to do Dragon Ball Z. No worry. Like, the earliest promos that I got were, of course, McDonald's. Loved it when LEGO would do a McDonald's promo. Yep. The pegs are for the holes in the hull. The holes I was joking about. All right, spare part. We got a black friction pin. All right, so this goes on here. A sticker would go on here for the details of the Maersk ship. And then let's find where those holes are. Right there. And there. You miss LEGO Happy Meal sets? Some of them were pretty garbage. Although, I do like the Grimace Purple from way back then. I mean, it's hard to say since Castle hasn't really been a thing too much while they've had Harry Potter. They did for a few years, but not for a very long time. I think Castle just doesn't sell to kids. Like, it sucks, but licensed sells better than unlicensed. With the exception of Town stuff. Town is like the exception to the rule. Yes, I think it was the Vestas wind turbine set. So there's our stand, there's the bow, there's the stern. Open the steeple, see all the people. I really like this little structure on the stern. Like, this is pretty neat here. I like that. Obviously, there's stickers that are supposed to be on there, but I did not put them on. So there we go. Again, a little bit too large for the camera view. It's a little bit better, but I can put it on the side like that and get the view. Oh, okay. So I think the promo set that I got years ago, I got a few of them. Was Velux, Vellux. That was the one for skylights. But yeah, I really do want to turn this into a minifig scale Maersk ship at some point. I think that would be awesome. Alright. Get it off there. But before we wrap up for the night... Drop everything, of course. It is time for some minifigs. All right. 2. So we're going over there. D12. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So let's start a prediction. Can all guess what is inside the minifig pack? You can do whatever you want, Well Bunny. Got here just in time again. Let's see what my die says. 1. All right, so it is saying the swimmer. Oh, right. I was going to step away for just a second to see if I could get that art book. Give me a second. I did have it. All right. We'll take a look at it like after minifigs. It's very heavy. Okay. I love Nobutera Yuki's art. It's one of my favorites. Probably second favorite character designer, like in working in anime and manga and stuff like that. Second favorite after Kunihiko Tanaka, who did Xenogears, of course. All right, 20 seconds remaining. Let's see what people were guessing. 2 for Nadaroge-ai, that would be the Eagle Warrior. 11 for Kinshir, that would be the hippie. 16 for Rovaljax, that would be Little Red Riding Hood. And Lel Bunny's first guess is a Minotaur Naval Architect. All right, predictions are closed. I did not get my timer up. My mistake. Go ahead and delete that old, that stupid thing that came in, dinged my phone. There we go. All right. Timer is ready. Get you over here. Actually, I don't need that open yet. And go. Okay. All right, that's interesting. We got something that feels conical. What else? Or bun-like. What is that? Oh, yeah, I know. All right. 28.97. I believe we have a. I think I was feeling the beret of the Scotsman. Make sure that the fabric is down at the bottom. It is indeed the Scotsman. So yeah, I was feeling the hat with a little nub up there. All right, so that was 28.97. Let's choose the outcome. 20 to 50 seconds. Complete that prediction. Who is getting the hams? All right, Kinshear, Lord Canis, and Rovaljack's getting all the hams. Very nice. Red Hyena, Gilded Tongue going for within 20 seconds. No one going for 50 to 60, and Lel Bunny going for no. Man, I could have sandbagged and gotten all the money myself. Does he have anything on under the kilt? Yes. You can see his tidy whities. I'm really glad that they have done molded skirts now. I really would like that. That would be it. Would be awesome to get printed kilt though. Well, he doesn't exactly have a bare bum because it's all white. The yellow is printed on here. Here's printing that does not that is not diminished by the fact that it's on white though. Yellow on white, but it's yellow, not white, so. I love his coat. Like, that is a good coat that would just go well with black pants as well. There we go. Get it close to his mouth. And he's playing some bagpipes. I do really like this minifig. Get a nice Highlander. All right. There we go. Let's go ahead and mark him down. And it's great to get more minifig instruments as well. That is also a very cool thing. All right. Next up, Series 6. One of these would be perfect for what I plan to build next Friday. 6, all right, so we're going over here. Let's go ahead and roll a d20. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a 7. But exactly what I'm talking about, I'm not saying. All right, let's start the prediction. Can all guess what is inside the minifig pack? Get your predictions in. Can I guess what is inside the minifig pack? I will go ahead and roll my beautiful bean footage. D20. 13. All right, so that is the Space Lady. The pink Space Lady. 1 for Nadarogai, that would be the Alien. 10 for Kinshear, that would be the Roman Soldier, which is great. Bagpipes rock all forms around the world. Second guess is a Minotaur plushy ship Crochetar. Crochetar. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Crochetar. 16 for Rovaljacks. That would be the genie. 13 for Red Hyena. Also, what I rolled, the pink Space Lady. 13 for luck. All right. Speaking of luck, let's go ahead and reset my timer. There we go. All right, get your predictions in. Can I guess what is inside the minifig pack? Imp Tour Guide? What about the Quasit Tour Guide? This is Quasit Erasure, sir. You deserve more hands. Alright, get your predictions in. Can I guess what is inside the minifig pack? Old place, what's in the box? No, that's next one. I can't do this is a bag. This is a bag. Alright, predictions are closed. Alright, let's go ahead and roll and go. Alright, what do we got? There's some legs. What do I got here? That's a torso. Alright. Let's get this up here. What is this? What is this? That is hair. What hair is that? I think that's hair. Oh, alright. 31.11. We got the skateboarder. The skateboarding lady. One of the downsides is when you get all the pieces behind this, it's kind of hard to feel them properly. All right, that is indeed the skateboarding lady. And that was 20 to 50 once again. Complete that prediction. Who is getting all the hams? Lord Canis, Gilded Tongue, and Rovaljack's getting all the hams. Red Hyena and Kinshi are going for within 20 seconds. Once again, no one going for 50 to 60. And Lel Bunny going for no. Man, I really should have sandbagged. I need to sandbag more often. Well, part of it is that I haven't felt many of these before, so it gets easier the longer I've been working with a set, and I haven't been working with this set for very long. All right, well, let's look at her first, and then we can look at the skateboard. So she's got a skull with a ribbon, streak of purple in her hair, stripes on her sleeves, and then her skateboard has a skull and a star, and a bad-winged heart. That's a great figure. That's a great figure. Is she from the Lego Movie? Looks familiar? No, just kind of the same aesthetic going on for, what's her name? The main character lady from the movie. Alright, let's go ahead and mark that down. But she is not from the movie. Just similar. Alright, and the final one. Let's see if we'll actually get onto this side this time. Wild style, there you go. 5, yes, alright, D10. It did, I don't remember some things. I've only seen it once. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like, I did actually think of that name, but I was like, I wasn't sure, so I didn't want to say something. Like, it didn't sound right to me in my head, so. And yet it was right, so. Alright. So, let's start a prediction. Can all guess what is inside the minifig box? Get your predictions in. I have my die all ready to go. Let's go ahead and get my scanner up. Oh yeah, and we need to switch on over to the weights. There we go. Get my scanner program. There we go. mean, it does have a memorable song, and it had an impact. I just didn't remember the name. It happens that way. I remember a lot from it. I haven't seen the second one, though. All right, 4 for Kinshear. That would be the steampunk lady, the monster hunter. I did finally, not too long ago, watch Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and there was a very brief scene with Lego Spider-Man. That was my favorite part of that movie. Good movie overall. But that was my favorite part because, of course, Lego. All right, so 11 for Rovaljax. That would be the mysterious Ronin, a.k.a. Lloyd. Last guess is a Minotaur Craftar of miniature ships for movie props. Does he also put the explosives in? Toy boat, toy boat, toy boat. All right, get your predictions in. Can I guess what is inside the minifig pack? Sure, let's go with that. Tinker Gnome Distiller. Also makes cow juice mysteriously. No one's quite sure how. All right. Predictions are closed. All right. First of all, we shake it and make a guess. I'm hearing a lot of pieces. I think I'm going to go with the marine biologist lady. That is going to be my guess. The die says... Oops. 6. That would be the garbage monster. And now let's weigh it. All right, and the weight, 17.33. It is not the marine biologist. 17.33. It could be the garbage monster, but... Oh my lord. There are so many close to 17.33. I'm going to say the soccer player, because I did hear something rolling around in there. That is 17.27. Alright, so... that is the weight. I'm going to say the weight is the soccer player. Let's go ahead and scan it. That is the tuba player. Gilded Tongue got it right. That is indeed the tuba player. All right, let's go ahead and open it to verify. Yep. It is the tuba player. All right, let's choose the outcome. Tuba player is 17.24, so a little bit further away than the 17.27 for the soccer player. Let's choose the outcome. That is no. Complete that prediction. Who is getting all the hams? I think I know who's getting all the hams. Lel Bunny and Rovaljack's getting all the hams. No one going for yes with weight. No one going for yes with die roll. 3 people going for yes with guess. Red Hyena, Kinshear, and Gildatongue all going for yes with guess. It could have been one of the others, and then I would have gotten all of the hams. I don't get all the hams in the end. You guys do. I'm giving away hams. Giving away so many hams. So no alternate face. Makes sense. Nope. Gold epaulets. Did not think about the gold epaulets as a potential sound. The head obviously was what was rolling, or maybe this. The hat. All right, let's go ahead and zoom on in. So I love getting the red hat. Looking at the outfit, very, very decorative. Like the white stripe on the leg. We got a little bit of back printing. The back of the tuba is pretty simple, but it's still a good piece. Like this is great to have. The Lego tuba. There was a tuba with the Fabuland figures that would have been a lot bigger. What makes red Shakos special for Lego? This is the first red one that they've done. I believe they've all been black before, except for the purple ones we got recently with the last year's modular set. Do you find it funny how they moved to boxes to keep people from guessing by handling the bag? No, so they moved from the bags because those are plastic bags, and the boxes are cardboard, so they're recyclable. Which is why these don't come in, like they're just loose parts inside those boxes. Yeah, I couldn't remember what the name of it was, but yeah, I mean, I know Shako as a, again, through Lego primarily, not because I'm a fan of Napoleonic history. I know it through Lego. But I couldn't remember the word for it. Alright, so we got a gold epaulette as a spare part. Let's go ahead and mark down Mr. Tuba Player. Alright, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, one more on the top, and we will move to the bottom register. Alright. Before I wrap up, I will show off that art book a little bit. It is a pretty cool thing. I'm just going to move some of this stuff out of the way. I got to be careful because some of the pages are coming out, though. Very, very nice gold slipcase. So, 2 books. This is the back. Beautiful, beautiful slipcase. So, Senshi Banko and Fantasian 2. There was a Fantasian 1 as well. So, oh. What do I have as... I just have a piece of paper in there. Whatever. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so one of these, I'm not sure which. I did get signed. And the binding, it's perfect bound, so it's a little bit iffy on pages. Oh yeah, signed right there. I should probably note that I think there's a little bit of nudity in some of these, as there already was. Those would fold out, but I'm not going to fold them out right now. This is Nobuteru Yuki. Nobuteru Yuki did the character designs for Lotus War, the anime. He did Chrono Cross. Tail Concerto, we'll go into that. Stuff I don't really recognize very easily. Escaflowne. I had forgotten that. I don't know why I forgot that. That is one of his breakout titles. There's Lotus War. beautiful, beautiful artwork. This is game stuff. Legend of Mana. Tons of fun stuff. I have a hardbound book of his Legend of Mana stuff. With the different classes. So let me go ahead and try centering this a little bit more. Chrono Cross. That's a big fold-out one. Kaiser Knuckle, which is not a game I know. Dragon Force 2, again, not a game I know. But I love this artwork. Tail Concerto. This is what we were talking about earlier, which prompted me to pull it out. Very adorable. Brandish. Other games that I don't know. And then book artwork. Like, super beautiful and adorable stuff, like mixture of both. This, I believe, is something that never actually got published. Like, I went digging a while back to figure out what this was from, and I don't think it ever got published or something like that. It was something that he worked on. But, I mean, like, these two are two of my favorite pieces in this book. And, of course, wizardry. And just some other work. This is promo stuff for, you know, like a lot of our artists will do promo stuff for things that they didn't actually work on. So that's that one. There we go. Then Fantasy in 2. Escaflowne here. This is Escaflowne the movie here. Yeah, Lotus was a D&D actual play published in a magazine. The original artwork, Nobuteru Yuki did the, like, I think that, like, this is all, the other stuff is painted, this is cell work. Even when it's promo stuff, it's cell, you know, like, artwork done on cells, I believe. But the original artist for the early Lotus stuff, the novels and everything like that, because it started out as an actual play of a D&D campaign, but that was shoot, I'm blanking on his name. Izubuchi. I have a great artwork of his. Search for Anam, A-N-A-M, like do a Google image search, Izubuchi Anam, and you'll see some fantastic artwork. Izubuchi is responsible for the elf ears like that. That was all him. X, which I think was Clamp. I think it's a Clamp manga. But I haven't seen that. Animation and others. Tenchi Ninaromon over here. Which I have never seen to completion, and I need to one day. It is pretty great, but it only got a half release here in the US. Dunbine. Yutaka Izubuchi. Yes, Izubuchi, I think it is. So these are, I believe these are like covers from like home video releases, these two. Battle Angel Alita over here. Palabor. I feel like I should know this one, but I can't recall. I don't think it's something that I've seen, but I think it's something that I've seen, like, around. I want to say this is Sukaban Deka, but I'm not positive. You want to check out the world of home videos one day? Well, I might do Retro Rewind at some point. That is a pretty fun game. And I don't know anything about this one. And that's it. But it's Fantasy 2 because he had released a much smaller art book that was Fantasy, just Fantasy. I have quite a bit of Nobuteru Yuki artwork. Samurai Showdown artwork with the girl with the hawk, yeah. And Sukaban Deka is the schoolgirl delinquent with the yo-yo, yeah. I haven't seen it myself. Just, like, some of these things, like, just seeing ads and promo stuff just kind of, like, burned itself into my memory. Like, Sukaban Deka is one of those. Just burned into my brain despite never having seen it. Just because of the idea of a girl with a yo-yo, and, like, that's the thing. I think she fights people with it. Like, I think it's like a spy-type show or something like that. That's what I've gotten the impression-wise. And she fights people with a yo-yo. Which just sounds awesome. It might suck, I don't know. But that sounds great. She's a detective, got it, okay. Alright, but that is going to wrap us up for tonight. A little bit of lovely Nobuteru Yuki viewing before we wrap things up. I want to thank you guys for coming on out. And we will be back tomorrow for some more Spelljammer. We'll be back on... we will not be back on Monday. I didn't stream last Monday, just to give myself a little bit of a break, and because this Monday, I got to take someone to the airport right during stream time. So, like, I'd probably get back and be able to do, like, half of it, but that's just not worth it, especially having finished a game recently, and I need to plan out for the next game. So, I don't know yet if we're going to be playing some more Cure next Wednesday. It's going to, you know, rely on some people's schedule. If we're not, I will be doing some LEGO. Otherwise, we will be back to LEGO next Friday. Boring Monday night? I mean, I got to deal with traffic. I don't know about you guys. All right, but I want to thank you guys for coming on out. I just sorted Lego on last Monday. That's what I did last Monday. But we will be back next time. See you then, everyone.